What's good, guys? Welcome back for another episode of the Ball Talk Podcast. It has been a while, probably a couple of weeks since y'all last seen me. I did do an episode with the homie Vershot. Shout out Silly Boy for pulling up last time. We got a lot of things to talk about. I like to let these rack up. I want to do an episode per week, but at the same time, sometimes you gotta wait on some news to really drop. And we got a lot of things to discuss today. So we just finished our week 1 of college football. It was a crazy week. This is actually probably the first week in my life that I've actually watched college football. To be honest, like I watched a couple of games last year, but this I actually sat down and watched full games and multiple games at that, and play some picks on it and stuff. I mean, if you guys haven't seen that, make sure you subscribe to the Ball Talk podcast episode, the channel. We also do Slip Talk there where we upload prize pick slips, and maybe I'll do underdog and all that stuff later on. I just need to consistently be winning first. But yes, so one of the crazy games that we watched, not crazy is because of the score, but the storyline involved into it. And that was Texas Longhorns versus the Ohio State Buckeyes. The Ohio State Buckeyes were the national championship winners last year, and they were defending. They're defending this year. But the storyline was, one, they lost their main quarterback. Who was it? Riley Leonard or no, not Riley Leonard. Who was their quarterback last year? It's old dude that got drafted. He was a really big quarterback too. Oh my goodness. Will Howard. There we go. It was Will Howard. Yeah, they lost their number one guy, Will Howard, but they still have their best wide receiver. Actually, it would he's said to be the best wide receiver in the college football scene right now in the NCAA. So they still got Jeremiah Smith on that team, but I knew kind of with the backup it wasn't gonna be Will Howard. It wasn't gonna be the same there, so I wasn't too sure how it was gonna look. And to be completely honest, I need to move this over. To be completely honest, I bet on this game and I took Jeremiah Smith on the under just because I didn't think that him with Sayin was gonna have a connection in the first game, and I was actually right. He didn't have a connection at all. But the story of this was Arch Manning. Arch Manning, if you guys don't know, had a lot of buzz about him last year because he was doing crazy numbers and he was coming off the bench doing it, and he's a Manning. He's the nephew of Peyton and Eli, and his dad actually played sports too, and is actually a prevalent figure when it comes to the college football environment. And so Arch Manning has a big name. Everybody's expecting him to be the number one draft pick this year, or just be they calling him a generational talent. So this was a big game to watch, and honestly, it did not hold up to its standards. And that's mainly because Ohio State's defense was crazy. So Arch Manning really struggled. He went 17 for 30, which is not even that bad. I mean, you have more than half of your completions, one touchdown and then one interception. So he did get that touchdown pretty late in the game to try to make a comeback. The score was only 7-14, so that shows you that Ohio State wasn't really having that crazy of a game either. Sayin was 13 for 20 with one touchdown as well. So to be honest, if you're looking at who had a better game, I mean, you can say Sayin because his team won, but Arch Manning had more yards and one touchdown. He just had another interception. That was it. But technically, he also had more attempts, but he had more completions and all that. And their run game was all right. It was just the Ohio State's defense was really locking shit up in the beginning. They were really locking shit up. Like, it was hard for the Texans to get any type of offense going. And then for Ohio State on the offensive end, when they were going, it wasn't that they were getting stopped by Texas defense. They just weren't getting completions. There were drops happening there, like just little things that were messing them up. So, and the run game wasn't that strong. Their best guy who had 67 yards, but he had 19 carries. So he was only averaging 3.5 yards per carry. So I'm expecting the teams to get better as the time goes by. But the Ohio State's defense is a force. Their defense was on lock, and we're going to see how Arch Manning continues to do throughout the season. That was his first away game. So last year he only played home games. So we're going to see. I think he had a decent showing, though. It wasn't too bad, to be completely honest. And those last two drives that he had showed his talent and his capabilities. We're just going to continue to see if that exactly if that's going to produce anything. It's okay, but he failed the eye test for sure. Yeah, he did. He was not good on that metric alone. So then we got TCU versus U not U yeah UNC. I know I'm skipping past a bunch of other games because all those other games were cool, but it's week 1 and there was no, like, besides that matchup, there was no crazy like top seeded teams that faced each other in this week 1. Well, I mean, I guess you could say Notre Dame and Miami. That was a good game too. It was really close, but I didn't get to watch that one. We could watch highlights here, but I really do want to talk about TCU and UNC because that was Coach Belichick's debut game, and they got fucked. Yes, they got fucked. That's the best way for me to explain it. They were harassed, bro. Like, at first, when I saw the highlight of them scoring a touchdown off rip and on their first drive, I'm like, damn, Coach Belichick is really about to do it with them. And then I proceeded to see the score just go out of. It just got out of hand. It just got out of hand. 48-14 was the total score. Belichick's defense does not look like any of his defenses in the NFL, and it's a different game, right? It's a different personnel, different guys you're working with, younger guys who probably aren't as locked in on the defensive end as they probably could be, but just their offense also just was struggling. Hood had 10 carries for 31 yards and 1 touchdown. They flipped 2 different quarterbacks in, Max Johnson or Gio Lopez. Like, they're not even sure which quarterback they really want to run the game with yet. And it just, Josh Hoover just took over, had 27 completions, 36 attempts, and 284 yards. I just think that right now, we get to see, I mean, like, it's not like Belichick took over a top-seeded team. He has time to rebuild that franchise and just got kind of see how it's going to work. But for this night, it was said to, like, it felt kind of like it was supposed to be special. I mean, damn, you have fucking Michael Jordan there, bro. What does Michael Jordan ever show up to any event at this point? Like, you hardly ever see that man. It's like he's a myth. And he showed up and he was there and they lost. They got smoked. So Belichick might have he's gonna have a bounce back game, but oh, they were defensive touchdowns. Yeah, you see, were they pick sixes? Fumbles. Oh, it was 2 fumbles. And oh yeah, defense miscellaneous touchdown. That might have been a sack. No, interception. It was a pick 6. So it was a pick 6 and a fumble recovery. 2 fumbles, a pick 6, and it says miscellaneous touchdown right here. I don't know what that means by the defense. But it was a couple of, oh no, a fumble recovery into a touchdown and a pick 6. Yeah. So those were the 2 defensive touchdowns. So that's 14 points right there. I mean, without those, they still lost. Technically, if you take out the defensive touchdowns, they still lost 36-14. No, 34-14. So they still was getting their ass smoked. Like, first half didn't do that well, and the second half it got even worse. So yeah, I don't know what to expect out of UNC. If I just check out their schedule, let's see who they go up against next week. They are playing against Charlotte. I don't know. This is not a top seeded team. I don't know who the hell that is. Charlotte 49ers, who also lost their last game, and they got blown out 34-11. So it's a chance for Belichick to redeem himself, and they don't have to play too many top seeded teams. Like the scariest team they probably have to go up against is Clemson, maybe Syracuse, and I don't know, Wake Forest would be good, or Duke, but yeah, they don't have to play any of the top seeded teams. So he can try to revitalize this team and give them some motion. But yeah, Belichick's debut was not the best at all. So next up, we got to talk about Michael Parsons and the Cowboys situation. So I did a short on Michael Parsons getting traded because I was actually near my computer when it happened, and it was crazy in that moment. Michael Parsons got traded to the Packers. If you do not know, now the Packers are not in the same division as the Cowboys. So the division the Packers are in, I believe, is with the damn it, I can't remember now. It's with the because the Cowboys division is the Eagles, Cowboys, Commanders, and Giants. Which that's always free for whoever is going to like well, actually all 4 of those teams are decent now. Well, the Eagles, of course, are the best in that division, but all four of those teams are decent now. Oh, the Bears, Lions, Packers, and Vikings. That is going to be interesting. I think the Bears are still not going to be a playoff team, but the Vikings might. I don't know how they're going to look just because JJ McCarthy's his first year with the team officially. Like, he was there last year, but he was injured. So I don't know if he's going to be better than Sam Darnold this season, which they were fucking 15-2 last year. Or were they 15? I'm pretty sure they were 15-2. They were either 15-2 or they were 14-3. Either way, they had a really good record last year. And I don't think McCarthy is going to be able to carry this team in that way. Because Sam Darnold actually carried the fucking team. It wasn't like they had a crazy... It's not like Aaron Jones was out there running the ball super crazy or Justin Jefferson was putting up sick-ass numbers. No, Sam Darnold was out there making hero plays, and he put them in positions to win. And now we're looking at the Vikings falling off potentially. So it's really just the Packers and the Lions, that division, to see who's going to be the best. And if I had to say so, I mean, it's going to be the Lions. They got Knuckles and Sonic and Knuckles over there between Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. They still got Jared Goff, who's a top end quarterback. They still got their weapons. Amon-Ra St. Brown. They gave rid of Williams. They got rid of Williams because he was always dropping the damn ball. And I'm pretty sure they got another wide receiver in the draft or something like that. So they're still a stacked ass team. They got Laporta still. Like they're still a good ass team. So I got the Lions being the best one. They're coming out of that division, and maybe the Packers could potentially make the wild card. But let's speak more on Micah Parsons, because Micah Parsons was traded to the Packers, and there's been a lot of like information and stuff being said from both sides about the contract things. And then Jerry had this whole press conference of, we wanted to keep Micah, but we're gonna win more games without him and all this stuff. And from what I see, there's an article out, and some information came out today actually that yesterday, that Micah is dealing with an injury. And he's dealing with some foot injury. And I don't know if that was disclosed to the Packers before they made the trade and the extension for the contract or not, but it's an interesting thing because his injury isn't something he can necessarily play through all season. He's gonna have to take some days off, some weeks off, I mean. And with that being the case, it's like, was he worth all the money? Maybe in the long run, but I know they probably want to win now more so than next year. And after that, they already paid Josh Jacobs his money, and they need to build a real winning roster because they just got Golden, which he's probably going to be a star wide receiver on that team because they actually don't have any star wide receivers. When you look at the Packers, they kind of suck. Wide receiver core is a bunch of dudes who they were trying to bring back what was his name, the one who had fucked up again. He had did something stupid and they had to release him. I forgot what his name was. He had came back to the Packers though. But so the Cowboys were never told that Parsons would not play. Never. I mean, Micah loves the game too much. He has, I think the part like Micah wanted. Yeah, so Micah wanted to be a Cowboy. He wanted to stay. But for whatever reason it was, I don't know if it was because I saw reports that they were willing to pay them money, and then Jones has contended otherwise and believes he had a handshake agreement with Parsons. The Cowboys have negotiated directly with players in the past, which is not explicitly in violation of the collective bargaining agreement. Mugita said that he reached out several times before and after the meeting to inquire about negotiations, but the Cowboys weren't interested in talking. Sources told ESPN that Mugita never made an offer to the Cowboys. To expect somebody like Michael Parsons to be one of the best defenders in the NFL and also a great lawyer when it comes to contracts, I think it's a bit unfair. His job is to go out there and chase quarterbacks, and our job is to go out there and chase commas for him. I'm not sure exactly why it went this way, but we were always prepared and open to negotiating the contract with the Jones family. So what I take from it is, I think I spoke on this before. Jerry Jones met with Micah. They had a meeting. Micah says that the meeting was supposed to be about, just being a team leader and all this stuff. Jerry went in there and was talking about some other shit, about some contract shit. And Micah was like, that's cool and all, bro, but like, let's leave that to when my agent gets involved, then we can have a talk, which is fair. Financial literacy is not to be expected of certain players. If you don't want to have that, you don't need to. That's why you have lawyers. That's why you have business people, financial advisors, and all that stuff for people to manage that money and tell you what's the best way for you to spend it. You have to put your trust in them, of course. But in this particular case, and in the sports, I know it's really prevalent that agents are important. Not a lot of guys like Shea Gilgeous Alexander just fired his agent this prior to getting his contract extension this season, and that's probably because one, he didn't want to pay agent none of that money, and two, he already trusted his team and knew that money was coming directly to him, and what he was gonna get was the right amount. So it's understandable. But in Micah's particular situation, he wanted his agent involved in these contract negotiations and conversations, and from the sound of it, the Cowboys didn't want that shit involved at all. Now, you know what I think it was? I think it came down to one, Micah's health concern. It's probably a big thing for Jerry, but also he probably put some clauses in the contract. He's saying, I'm going to give you this money, but it came with a shit ton of clauses in it. Now, if it has a bunch of clauses in it, I'm not going to want you to read too much into that. I just want you to take the money. That way, if you are not able to play, I can just fuck you over, basically. If Jerry came out and literally had a press conference about the trade and literally said on there, we're going to win more games without him, if he's here or not, then he already had his mind set up to where it's like, okay, I'm going to pay you, but I'm not going to pay you just because I love you. No. And I didn't even like that little joke where he said, well, how do guys get paid? When the reporter asked Jerry, how do guys get paid? And he said, just ask Dak. What does that mean? Because Dak is kind of whitewashed. All you see is Dak walking around hanging out with, well, I mean, his wife is I don't want to make this a race thing. But what I'm trying to say is that it seems like Jerry only, like, he has to like you in order for you to be on his team, which is, how can you build a winning roster if you only care about the players you like? They have to fit. It's weird to me because, this is the example I was going to make, is with Dak's personality, CD is nothing like that, and CD got paid. So you're just trying to tell me that, like, CD's a great fucking player, but you think Micah Parsons isn't a similar talent? Is he not worth that? Because he is to me. Now, I get it. You can say, oh, Micah doesn't stop nothing on the run. Who is a guaranteed fucking stop out here in the league? Like, name me one that just you have never scored a rushing touchdown on this player. Myles Garrett be on the fucking field and teams still run the ball. What are we talking about? Quarterbacks still pass the ball. They still get passing touchdowns and rushing touchdowns. It's not like every time you see this defender, y'all score 0 points in the game. That don't even make sense. Nah, Dak has to be. I don't know what Dak back there doing. I'm not going to assume he doing something illicit, but like for CD to get paid and Dak to get paid. Now I know those are two different types of people. What's their beef with Micah? Micah has a no. Micah having a podcast has nothing to do with it at all. But it's just that the whole development of that is interesting. I just think it's kind of crazy, and I think Jerry Jones is really. I hate the Cowboys, but I think Jerry Jones is really running that team further and further and further into the ground. They're going to be ass this year. I promise you guys. If you want to bet on Dak Prescott, you got to take him for attempts. Because the motherfucker got to throw the ball. They have no running backs. Like, he has to throw the ball. Like, there's no other options. They can't do nothing else. At least he got 2 targets this year. Well, more than last year. They got Pickens and they got CD now. So he got options. But he got to throw that motherfucker all the time. So enough on that. Packers is gonna be interesting to watch. We don't know if Mike is gonna even play in week 1 or if he's actually gonna be healthy throughout the season yet. So yeah, that is what it is. And some more NFL news. Somehow, I don't know where this came from, but this was reported. The Giants have Jackson Dart listed as their number 2 quarterback behind Russell Wilson on their unofficial depth chart of the regular season. I don't know how you get an unofficial depth chart. I'm not reading this report all the way through, but damn to Jameis, bro. Damn. because they were willing to just throw Jackson Dart in there already. I don't think Russell Wilson is playing the entire season because I don't think the Giants are actually going to be good. Now, I don't know. They just got Abdul Carter out the draft, which is a highly talented player, and he changes your defense. But I don't know if their offense is going to be as consistent. We saw Russell Wilson with the Steelers, and he wasn't that bad. I don't think the Giants' defense is the Steelers' defense. And I don't know if the Giants actually have a good enough O-line to help out or weapons. Yes, they got Neighbors. And Neighbors Russell Wilson sounds like a dangerous combo. But who else do they have? I mean, they got Tracy from last year. It's going to be second year. So we can see how he does in that system as well. And I don't know. It's just like a wait and see. Jackson Dart did have a pretty good preseason though. I'll admit that he had a pretty good preseason, probably the best out of the rookies. And not probably, definitely the best out of any of the rookies in the preseason. Jackson Dart had the best one. You can say the only quarterback who's not a rookie that had a contender for that would be Trey Lance, but Trey Lance isn't going to play in the regular season at all because he's behind Justin Herbert. So unless Justin Herbert gets injured, and even if Trey Lance takes over that team, is not going to look good for them. So yeah, I don't know. Pour one out for Jameis Winston. I mean, his career is not over, but damn, yeah, for rookies, the QB2 on an unofficial depth chart already, it might be cooked for you, bro. It was already cooked for him when he signed there, and then Russ signed. I'd have been pissed. But we finally got some NBA stuff to talk about, man. I've been waiting on NBA shit for a minute, bro. I'm still new to the football scene, even though I've been watching football for the last couple of years. I'm not too intricate in everything that's going on with football, but y'all know basketball is my sport. Basketball is my fucking sport, and I get to talk about one of my guys, Luka Doncic, baby. Shout out to the Lakers because Luka Doncic is gonna be playing a full season with us for the first time this year, but he's doing some crazy stuff in Slovenia. Luka dropped a triple-double. Giannis is actually going crazy too on that other side too. He's scary, but Luka's making history over there, man. Luka is the youngest player to reach 4,000 Eurobasket points since Tony Parker in 2007. I seen some stat over there that he is actually the fourth player to put up a triple-double, or like some crazy stat. He was the fourth player ever to do something. So Luka's going crazy over there in Slovenia. He's having his team go crazy. The slim down skinny Luka is looking good, baby, because he's gonna be able to hoop for us. Now he hasn't been shooting that good from the 3-point line, of course, but I mean, hey, when you able to put up 26, 10, and 12, like I'm love those numbers for us too. I just want to talk on that a little bit because, you know, I'm excited for the regular season to start for us, even though NFL is about to start. And let's pick on that too. NFL season, September 4th, I will be dropping a Slip Talk episode. We're going over the Cowboys and the Eagles game. I can tell you right now, we're going to put Saquon on that motherfucker. We're putting Jalen Hurts on that motherfucker. We putting Dak on that. We're putting CD on it. We're putting Pickens on it. And our 6th pick will probably be AJ Brown or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like if I were to like try to think about it now, I'm probably gonna take Jalen Hurts for a rushing touchdown because the tush push is the real fucking thing, and that's how he gets his rush touchdowns. I'm gonna take Saquon for a rushing touchdown as well. I'm gonna take CD for, if they got him like over 60 yards, I'll take CD for over 60 yards. I'm gonna take Pickens for receptions or targets because he will be getting some targets in his game. CD is the focal point of the offense, but they need to make Pickens feel welcomed in the system as well, and I think they're gonna do that a lot in game 1. And then the last pick I really don't know right now. We're gonna look more into it when we get closer to the day. But yes, some more basketball news. Jeremy Lin has decided to retire from pro basketball, and they said it's his hardest decision. The nigga been out the league for the last couple of years. I really don't know what was so hard about this. Jeremy Lin is 37, bro. You're 37 years old. I don't know why retiring was your hardest decision. You should have been ready to hang it up, bro. Like you You haven't been in the league for the last couple of years. And from last time I heard, you was in the G League and then you left the G League. So I'm pretty sure you was already mentally done with this shit. It says he's been playing professionally in Taiwan, but bro, 37 years old, like, I don't know, why was that the hardest decision? That should have been something you was ready to do, honestly. Unless you just got life, you know, that's the basketball is your only way, like, you know, to get out of everything. But happy retirement to Jeremy Lin, man. Congratulations to him. He had one of the coldest runs in NBA history. Linsanity will forever be a legend. Forever be a legend. Like, there's no debate about that shit at all. Like, that his moment, even though it lasted 5 minutes, his moment was the coldest 5 minutes ever that I have ever seen, bro. Like, it trumps, to be honest, it trumps what James Harden was doing. Because James Harden went on that run, that made him a very prolific scorer. And his stats look crazy. Like, his stats were definitely better than Jeremy Lin's. But Jeremy Lin's impact and what he did it at, he did it in New York. Like, if there's only 2 places you could do that in, and for it to be greater. Well, not greater. You could only do that in New York, of course, or in LA. If he was if it was the Lakers at the time he did that shit, it would have went crazy too. He did that in New York. He was going off in the Garden. He went on a run in it's just, he's a legend for that. They shouldn't retire his jersey, of course, because they didn't end up winning anything. But that Linsanity run was the greatest that I have ever seen myself. Like that, it was crazy. And mainly because he came out of nowhere when he did it. Like, it wasn't because he was putting up 40 points a game, because he wasn't doing that. It's just because it came out of nowhere. No one expected it. Randomly, this guy off the bench, because of all these injuries, comes in and he's hitting game winners on people. He's taking the clutch shots. He's putting up crazy, like, he's just doing anything. Nobody can stop him. That's what it really felt like. Look, he couldn't be stopped. And bro, like that. Shout out to Jeremy Lin, man. He had a really good, decent career. He had a decent career. Definitely decent. He didn't do nothing when he came to the Lakers, but he had a decent career. And then the last piece of news I want to talk about today is going to be a short episode. Is the Bucks re-signed Thanasis Antetokounmpo to a 1-year deal, man. They got to do that. It's just reasonable. They got to keep him. They probably want to keep Giannis, and the only way to do that is by re-signing his brother. Giannis's brother is not a treasure trove, but somebody that's going to keep him leveled and mentally stable at all times, right? And that's the point of this, just to keep somebody locked in here, to make sure that he's okay and he wants to stay and hang out and be on the team. And maybe Giannis resigns with the team after this season. We don't know yet. There was a lot of signs of him leaving, especially after they waived Dame, and we still haven't really seen what they're going to do with him this year or not, because maybe this was a move to just ensure that he doesn't request a trade halfway through the season, because it's still possible that he could do that. And there's a lot of teams that probably have assets to it. I think OKC has a bunch of assets if they want to go get Giannis, to be completely honest. So they don't need to, but if they did, DZM, bro. Like, I just be like, oh yeah, this shit done. They win in the next chips. Their dynasty for real. So that's gonna be it for the Ball Talk episode today. Like I said, you guys, make sure you guys hit that like button. If you didn't know, I'm live on Twitch right now, twitch.tv/King Sosa _. Make sure you follow me on it. Subscribe if you willing to support your boy, so I can quit my job, go full-time streaming and content creating. That way I can actually get back to y'all and do crazy streams and stuff like that. I'm not gonna be a Kai Cenat or anything like that, because I don't really like to be that entertaining. But for the most part, I'm gonna talk my talk and wait, why does it say I'm offline? I'm gonna talk my talk and get my insight. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today's episode of Ball Talk. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.